This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined here down at McGuigan's gym by Josh Taylor. How you doing, Josh?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself? Always good to see you.
It is always good to see you. Not many people say that to me, so that's very nice. Sporting a nice bit of facial fuzz, like the beard.
I was growing it in between. In this training camp, I was going to say to myself, I'll not shave it until the fight, but I'm starting to feel scruffy and that already, so I think I'll be getting shaved tomorrow.
Don't want to break this to you, but when you've shaved, you're not always the smartest person in the room anyway.
Oh, thanks very much.
How you doing, Josh?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
How's training been? Obviously, you got May 18th date kind of creeping up on us. I mean, the year's already kind of flying by.
Yeah, it's fluent, to be honest. It just felt like a couple of weeks ago that I'd moved down here. You know what I mean? Like, settled down here. It felt like, right, it's 5 months to go. But now it's only 6 weeks to go. It's really flew in. So, yeah, I'm feeling good, nice and confident. And, yeah, I can't wait to get in there now. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that. It's something that we briefly spoke about when I turned up today, about kind of you're down here as opposed to travelling. Obviously, you've got your lovely girlfriend who's moved in with you. How has that been different? I mean, I know you mentioned about kind of being in camp with somebody else in the house can be quite different to what you're accustomed to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, my whole career, even through my amateur career as well, when I was on the Sheffield, the GB set up and that years ago, I was always away from home. You know, I was always training camps away from home, going to tournaments away from home, you know, like away from home most, like 90% of the time. And then even my pro career, the same, coming down here to London, you know, staying in hotels with Conrad and all that. So, and then sharing the house, I was always down and away from home, away from the home comforts. And now it's totally different. I've moved in now, the girlfriend's moved in, the dog's moved in now. It feels like home, so it feels, it's a bit strange, it's a bit strange, but at the same time I'm nice and relaxed as well, so I'm enjoying it, and you know, I feel at ease, and I'm enjoying my training and enjoying being down here, you know, instead of opposed to being away from home and no seeing anybody or no talking to anybody. You know, I always got my girlfriend to speak to keep me company and all that as well when it gets a bit lonely and shitty at times, and the dog as well, you know. So it's great.
Now, you're scheduled to box Ivan Baranchyk. A lot of confusion and rumours flying around that it might not be the case. How much of that do you pay attention to? I don't
pay attention to any of it, really. I'm just focusing on May 18th, and I'm focusing on Baranchyk. But if the opponent does change, which I think is unlikely, then I'll adapt. I'll go back to my amateur days and adapt and change my style. But I'm not too fussed. I'm focusing on May 18th, and I'll be fighting May 18th, and it's looking like Baranchyk, 90% looking like Baranchyk. So I'm focusing on that. But if it changes, it changes. I'm not fussed, as long as I get to fight for that title.
No, I know it's something that we've spoken about in the past, about bringing world title boxing or world championship boxing to Scotland. How excited are you now that it is only 6 weeks away? Oh,
I can't wait. You know, this is the fight I've been training for and dreaming for my whole life, to become world champion. You know, all the years of drumming it into myself, writing it on bits of paper, and Josh Taylor world champion for years, drumming it into myself, believing it. It's now here. You know, that fight's now here, so I'm going to make sure I grab that with both hands and bring that title back to Preston Pans, you know, and make that dream a reality. So there's no way there's anybody going to beat me for it. I can't wait.
Talk to me about that, because I mean, that's the first time I've heard you say like about writing stuff down, and it kind of reminds me. I spoke to Charlie Edwards before he boxed a couple of weeks ago, and he's sort of the law of attraction and things like that. Are you kind of big on things like that? Do you kind of take things like that seriously? No, not really. I never really think about that sort of law of attraction stuff and all that. But I know by writing it down every time, everywhere I go, and writing things down, I was drumming it into my head, believing it. You know, I'm going to be a world champion. Every tournament I went to as well. When I went to the Olympics, I went to the Commonwealth Games, Europeans, I was drumming it myself into bits of paper and stuff like that when I was writing down, I'm going to be a world champion, or Josh Taylor, European champion, Josh Taylor, Commonwealth champion, Josh Taylor, Olympic champion. So drumming it into myself and making myself believe it, and just till it's just like second nature. I can't see any other result, you know. So I've always been kind of strong like that and believing in my ability that way. So it's been worked so far. Did you ever used to sign things as Josh Taylor world champion when you were younger?
I've never ever done that. No, no, I've never ever done that. I maybe do it one day once I'm world champ maybe, but I've never done that. No.
Fight that's kind of been rumoured for a long time, really, since when I first known you, and it's kind of sprouted up again recently, is the Ricky Burns fight. Rumours flying around that he could potentially replace Baranchyk. I know you've just said that it's 90% going to be Baranchyk. Can we realistically expect that fight will never likely happen now between you and Ricky?
Yeah, I think so. I think that ship has sailed a while ago now. I think that fight was probably attractive a couple of years ago when... Oh, fucking dog. Go and grab him, Daniel.
It's alright.
I say, I fucking forgot what I've said now. Fucking
Ricky Burns.
Ricky Burns. Man, go and grab him. And I think that ship sailed now. It's like when he was sort of coming to the end of his career just after he lost, I think that would have been a great time for us to fight. I was coming up and on the rise and calling for the fight. I think it would have been great, but I think now it's probably past and not looking likely to happen now.
Question that I've been asked by a friend of mine, Scotsman, proud Scotsman, Craig Scott. Where do you see yourself? I mean, I appreciate it might be difficult to kind of think of going into your first world title fight, but where do you see yourself ending up? Do you kind of look at your Ken Buchanans and your Jim Watts, etc., as wanting to aspire to that, to be kind of the greatest Scottish fighter ever?
No, I don't think about it. Like I know I don't compare myself to any other Scottish fighter. You know, these guys, Jim Watt, Ken Buchanan, you know, they've had great careers. You know, so I don't want to compare myself to them. I just want to be the best that I can be. And if I can achieve things like what Ken Buchanan's done, then I'll be really happy. You know, become undisputed world champion. I want to become the first undisputed world champion in Scotland since Ken Buchanan. You know, if I can do that, I'll be really happy, you know, and that's a long-term goal. But I don't compare myself to any other fighter. You know, I just want to. I've got my own goals, my own dreams, and I believe in my ability, and I believe I can become world champion, and I believe I can become undisputed world champion, and that's definitely a goal of mine. Once I win this tournament, I've got 2 belts, and go for Ramirez if he's still got it, unified division, and then go for the other one as well, and I'll be undisputed champion, and then I'm the first king of the division since King Kennedy, you know. So since he was lightweight, obviously, but you know that would be amazing. That would be a real great achievement, you know.
How much attention do you pay to the other champions? Obviously, you've got Regis Prograis in here. You've got Relic. Mm-hmm. Then you've got your Jose Ramirez and Maurice Hooker. Mm-hmm. How much do you pay attention to those guys? I know you're very much kind of keeping it to yourself, but those fights have been talked about. Yeah,
they've been talked about, you know, and I'll take more interest in them when the fights get made. You know, I'm not really interested in following them or what they're doing or what they're up to. I couldn't care, to be honest. But I do obviously watch their fights when they're fighting. I'll watch their fights and have a look at it and what they're good at and things like that. But I generally don't really bother about anybody else in the division apart from myself.
Now, I've seen some of your sparring sessions in the past. One spar that I really wish I was here for was when you sparred your stablemate, Luke Campbell, a few weeks ago. That was the first time you'd sparred. How was that? Yeah, it was good, really good. It was a good first sparring session back. You know, I think that was my first spar since middle of November or something. But yeah, it was good. It was good sharp work to get my eye back in. I was already sort of quite sharp, by doing the pads and stuff with Shane and doing sharp pad work. So I was quite sharp. Timing was a little bit out in the spar, but generally it was a great spar. It was sharp sparring. He was, I think, a week out from his fight or 2 weeks out from his fight, so he was sharp, and you know I was concentrating as well. So it was a real sharp work, and yeah, it was good, real good. When you have another sort of elite level, world level southpaw in the gym, roughly around the same weight, does that give you a little bit more of an urge to kind of put the hard graft in? Not that you don't anyway, but is it different than, for example, when you had George Groves in the gym, who was obviously a lot bigger than you? Is it different having Luke Campbell in the gym? No, not at all. No, not at all. We all train together and we all train hard. You know, obviously, when we're in sparring, you know, Luke's sharp, so I've got to concentrate, and he's clever as well, so I've got to concentrate, and the same with him. He'll be thinking I'm sharp, and he's got to concentrate with me, so we're both having to stay switched on and outthink each other. It's real smart technical work, you know, so it's real good quality work. But in terms of, you know, competing with each other, no, it's just we all just push each other as hard as we can, you know. We train as hard as we can on the circuits and push each other and bring each other on. So yeah, it's real good, yeah. back to May 18th. Last time I spoke to you, it was only a rumour, the Inoue stuff. Now that's been confirmed. He is going to be boxing. I know you said co-main because you're a humble man, but he's boxing on your undercard. What's that like to have Naoya Inoue boxing in Glasgow?
Yeah, it's massive. You know, I think I said this the last time with the Martin fight. It's the biggest card Scotland's seen, but this one really is. You know, you've got a superstar really in the sport coming to Scotland, coming to the Scottish shores or British shores, and getting these people are getting the opportunity to see him live, where you would never get the opportunity to see a guy that's calibre, you know, standard and quality in Scotland ever really. You know, so. Yeah, it's massive to be part of it and headlining the show and such quality boxing show. I'm real proud of it. Yeah.
Were you going to have time to keep an eye on his fight, or were you very much? I know you're meticulous in your preparation.
Yeah, it'll be right before my fight, so I'll not get the chance to watch him. I think Shane's a wee bit gutted about it, actually. He was what to watch him, but we'll be focusing on the job ahead of us. So unfortunately, we won't get to see him. We'll be the only one.
Maybe meet him back at the hotel for a drink.
No, maybe I'll get him a beer this time.
Okay.
I like to get folk a beer after the fights, don't I?
Yeah, after your last fight, you had whiskey with Victor Postel.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, I had a couple of whiskies with him. You know, we never got the chance to catch up after the fight, but we caught up after the Martin fight in the bar and the hotel, staying in the same hotel and stuff as well. So we got a wee catch up. So yeah, it was good. Good guy.
Okay, well, just before I let you go, because I know your lovely girlfriend is waiting to whisk you away, fight coming up in a couple of weeks. I'd like to get your opinion on Aamir Khan versus Terence Crawford.
I'm kind of caught between opinions here. I can't see anything other than a Crawford win, but I kind of don't know the way it's going to go. It'll either be Crawford will just outsmart him, outthink him, and outbox him, you know, with his timing and his movement, his clever movement, outsmart him, outthink him. Or it'll be competitive for a couple of rounds. Khan will catch him because his speed, and it'll be quite competitive early on. And then I think Crawford adapts and then catches him and might knock him out. But I don't know. It can go one of the two ways for me. But I can't see anything other than a Crawford win.
Reminded me when you said you've known or you've been around Aamir Khan for a number of years. I know you went out to spar at the Wildcard when he was training out there. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was years ago. I think that was maybe 2009. He was sparring with Manny Pacquiao and what's his name, Benavidez, Jose Benavidez. He was sparring with him, and that was real good quality work to watch. You know, it was a real eye opener for me and the pro world and the top guys in the pro. You know, I went over in 2009 with my amateur coach Terry McCormack at Loch End. We all went over there. We've been over twice, and you know, it's been both times have been great experiences. You know, so yeah, I learned a lot in the experiences and watching the top pros go to work. You know, opened my eyes up and changed my mentality of things. So yeah, it was real good.
Okay, well, I'll catch up with you soon. I didn't know where Danielle had gone. If she run off. Josh Taylor, thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to catching up with you soon. Don't shave the beard, keep it.
Aye, right now it's getting shaved. Feel like a scruff.
Cheers. Nice one. Right, let's go.